Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I'm really excited to launch a new series, which is going to be related to the videos I drop normally. For instance, like Anthony Edwards' video I did yesterday, I'm going to take some of the sets that caught my eye or just things that we can expand upon and really go deep in a few of those with you with X's and O's. I'm going to be utilizing the Lucio app, which is an app that a lot of NBA teams use right now on the bench, and they'll send it home with their players to go through X's and O's. It's a really cool app where you can actually diagram plays, and they'll move just the way you tell them to move. But we're also going to create a whole community inside the Lucio app underneath B-Ball Breakdown, where we're going to be able to upload clips. You're going to be able to go through them. We'll have games where you can decide what's the best idea and the best options. You're going to be able to, design your own plays. We're going to have a Discord around that, and it'll be a whole interesting community for both fans and if you're a coach to discuss the X's and O's and how offenses and defenses work. And you'll be able to sign up with a link below in the description. So click on that and check it out. It's free right now, and you'll be able to just join the community. And as you progress, and I like certain things that you post, I'll bring on the show, and we'll have you guys on in this format, and we'll discuss it even more with a deeper dive. I'm really excited about this, and I think it'll go a long way to just improving the IQ, helping us learn more about what sets are run and why they run and other options you might not see right at that moment, but we'll see maybe later in that season, and you'll be ready for it. So what do you say? Let's start out with the first play I grabbed from Lucio right now, which is a flare high post split. Now these names I'm kind of making up, just describing the actions and kind of jamming them together. You'll notice that every NBA team has their own nomenclature and versions of stuff, and they'll call it whatever they want. They can make it up if they like. I'm going to make it up too. So first, let's go through the first one. I'll show it to you real quick, and then we'll go through it. So as you can see here, this is the Timberwolves, and they're going to attack in a high post set here with a flare to Anthony Edwards. And the best part about this, I love, is they do a high post split off of this. And then it lets Anthony Edwards put the defender in jail, and then basically ISO on the mismatch and get a shot from behind the arc. So let's now look at that from Lucio's standpoint on their app. So we can now go into here and press this and go full screen. So here's what happens when you watch this and go through these play designs. You'll see all the lines are drawn first of all, but when I hit play, and I'll make sure it's going slow-mo, you'll see the actual play unfold, and animated. And I drew this and I learned pretty much in real time exactly how to make this thing work. So now you can start to see how this is working, how all the pieces work together, looking straight down so no one's in your way. And then there we go I'm sorry, PB is actually going to be Anthony Edwards. Somehow that didn't get changed, but nonetheless, we know that was Anthony Edwards. So let's go through this, and I'm going to actually use my pen, and we can start to draw a little bit here and discuss how this works and what other options you can get out of this. So first off, we'll go into our drawing mode. So check this out. I can now draw on this if I want to. Cool, huh? So the first thing we see here, which I like, is, we might actually get here. It's just an Iverson cut, right? You kind of cut. I called it a flare, but it's also like an Iverson cut. And if you pass the ball here, a lot of times coming off that cut, you might be able to turn the corner and get right to the basket. And you'll see this happen. They've done this before earlier in the year where a guy like Anthony Edwards can come off of that and get a shot. But if not, which is what I like about this, then there's more flow to this. The only worry you have, though, sometimes is that when you teach this all the way through, they might miss the opening. They might not think about throwing this pass here because they're just so caught up in running the whole play all the way through. So that's one thing you got to be careful about if you're drilling this. You want to make sure you go through enough reps where they are passing to the Iverson cutter. So now what happens is, and by the way, Cats, man, when you're thinking about this, the guy guarding here, X5, he might actually take a step over that direction, worried about the cutter going across. So that usually means that Cat can then, hit that high post and get open. So when you want to hit the high post, and that's the whole crux of the play, which is what this play is, you got to make sure you get the pass there. And the best way to do that is have that guy set a screen. That's what Cat did. Then he pops open. So let's keep going here. So now we pass it open. So this is now what we normally see is a high post split we'll see on the strong side. So a lot of times what you'll see is, the Cat would be here at the high post, and then you'd have Anthony Edwards in the corner and Patrick Beverley here, right? And then you'd see the screen come, and Anthony Edwards would cut around to go to the basket or whatever, and then you get a handoff action. That's normally where you see it, but they've pivoted this a little bit higher toward up above the free throw line, which I like. You can run this action anywhere on the court. You can do it centered on top. You can do it off of in the slot area where they're doing it here. You can obviously do it on the other slot. And you can run this in the corners too. Here, that's the beauty of this. if you teach your players to be reactive to these things, they'll notice the pattern and the alignment of your players and run this no matter where they are on the floor versus getting all hung up on, oh, I'm in this spot and I don't know what to do because we've never been in this alignment before. So let's keep going. So now what we have here is the split. So you see two players come together on the weak side, and Cat is looking to do a little handoff here. So what I like about this is the handoff is basically a screen. It could be like a ball screen almost and moving. You can see a lot of backdoor stuff here. Oh, sorry. Let's do this. You can see a lot of backdoor after this guy screens. He could cut backdoor because maybe his man is going to go and get confused and go to the cutter here, and then all of a sudden he's open, and Cat can just throw that nice little one-handed pass like a lefty bounce pass for a layup. And then meanwhile, Anthony Edwards is coming around this and could turn the corner. He's obviously looking to turn the corner. He's going to his strong right hand, which is why I like this set. If you can design sets that give your players, even though they might be great going the weak hand, why struggle here? Give them an easier drive. And then what you might be able to see is something like this. You'll see Anthony Edwards getting that handoff, and now he can get down and get downhill into the lane. And now the defense would be in trouble. Now you're collapsing because Cat could be rolling here for a lob or a bounce pass. You got a guy filling in over here. If this guy is going to spot up here, his man most likely will have to bump over to watch Cat for a second, and then that's that pass all the way across the court. This pass right here to the court for a three, and then you also might have a pass. These guys, you can get a little hammer screen here if you like. They could exchange simply, or they could stay, and you can maybe lure the man in the corner. If this guy is coming around here on the dribble, let's make a wiggly line, then this guy will probably want to think, oh, I got to help. And then boom, it's an easy pass, easy corner shot. So there's an example of how you can get a lot of different options and drill these things piecemeal one at a time and then put it together with defense. So let's go to the next one, which I call slip pistol. Let me go back to, we're in the drawing, the slip pistol. And I'll show you the clip real quick once, and then we'll do it. This is what they open the game with against the Warriors. And so obviously when I say slip and I say pistol, then you're going to see, a slip ball screen, and then you're going to see pistol action, which is going to be a pin down into handoff. And then that's Anthony Edwards again coming off, which, he's looking to turn that corner if he can. And otherwise, this is the idea that Anthony Edwards is really feeling himself as a second-year player now. He's really into, being the man. It's kind of great to see this development, and he'll get better at that. He's not great yet, but he will get better at it. And to see him so comfortable doing that is, it's going to be a real thing for them going forward, and they'll have both him and Cat as real offensive weapons. So here are the squiggly lines. Let's watch it real quick in slow-mo and see how this unfolds. So there you can see Vanderbilt setting the screen. And then what I like about this is that, yes, what's going to happen a lot of the time is, let's go back. Let's go back a couple frames here. What normally happens is like Vanderbilt's man, he's going to take a step over. He'll be a little bit worried about that. And that's going to allow Vanderbilt to pop out and get open. Again, a lot of this is centered on getting the ball back to the middle. And how do you get him open? What if they're denying, right? You can't, there's obviously other options out of that, but you want to make sure that you can't just out and out deny it, and that you can actually, get the ball to him. So they get the ball to him there because of that action. And then boom, on top. Now, as this is happening now and then that was a slip screen to get him also open because, again, the screener's man might, start to hedge or get in the way of the ball handler, and now he's out of position to defend the ball screener who's slipping and popping out to the top here, right here. So now what's going on the weak side is a very typical normal action is a pin down. And this is right out of the triangle offense, by the way. When you swing the ball here, there's always going to be a pin down into a guy coming out of the corner and then into a dribble handoff. That's very powerful stuff here. You can have the screener cutting in here for a backdoor here. You can have the ball handler, the guy receiving the handoff, turning the corner and getting into the lane. And now you got guys who are spotting up here in the corners, and you're trying to lure. This is all about luring the defense to help, right? And that's an easy pass here. But by the way, you might lure this guy here into over to help, and then you get the pass back to that corner. So it's not a hard read to teach the guy coming off the handoff to figure out which way he wants to go. So let's continue this play and watch how it unfolds. So here comes the pistol action to the right, and you have like a real. Here's the other thing I really like. Every offense needs to have actions where you allow your players to sprint 15 feet minimum into a catch. And I'm talking about catching and going right away, run and catch, or split and go. And this is exactly what happens here, because you're getting the guy coming all the way from the corner. This distance is, a good 15, 18 feet. Now he's getting the catch, and now his man is probably trailing, and he can get in there. And if he forces a switch, then the handoff guy is rolling here. And then you get all sorts of major rotational problems for the defense, and you should get an open shot. And that's what happens. Let's see here. On this one, he comes around, and then he gets it. Now he turns the corner here, and then we end up going back into an ISO, I believe, right? So that's, the worst case scenario is you might get a mismatch now on a big with a guy like Anthony Edwards, and he can now attack that mismatch. You'll take that. You'll take those chances, most of the time. Now let's go to the next thing we have here, which is what I call flash flare. So let's I'll show you the quick how it looks in real time here on the video. So you'll see Anthony Edwards is bringing the ball up, which is nice to see him vary that as well. And then a quick ball screen. And now here's where comes the flash and the flare. They can't get down low to the post, so he flares that way and gets a wide open jumper on the weak side. So let's watch how this works on the diagram here. So Anthony Edwards brings it up, and Cat sets a screen. And then what they look like they're trying to do here is they skip it to the weak side. And it kind of felt like to me that what they were looking for was this pass into here. And Cat kind of went to the weak side a little bit too much. If he rolls maybe this way, he might get that pass. And then at that point, the defense kind of is in trouble, or the offense is in trouble. It kind of broke down. But what I was looking for, which it looked like is an option out of this, is now instead of seeing the guy in the corner coming up and back screening, flare screening for Anthony Edwards, what he really could do, and this is more of the triangle stuff, is he could flash here. They could throw it here, and then Anthony Edwards could cut right back door in here. Now, Cat would hopefully start to back up and get out of there, and then he can get a three-pointer, because let me show that play again. He flashes to the center. They throw it here. This is called blind pig out of triangle. If Anthony Edwards cuts behind him and gets the ball, right? Now and the Cat gets out here, Cat's man is definitely gonna move over to try and stop that, and that means that Anthony Edwards can throw that ball here. Now, if this guy's man, Jared Vanderbilt's man, is going to come over to help, then he's also got this pass here. Either way, and if nobody comes and helps, well, guess what? Then Anthony Edwards is going to dunk on your head. What they ended up getting is a nice option out of this, which is just a flare screen. When in doubt, you had to screen, and they couldn't get it anywhere. Because again, you can also have Anthony Edwards like this cut and get the pass here, and then you could flare. He can keep going instead of ball screen. You get a lot of different options out of this. But what we end up seeing here is the flare screen. This is great. Anthony Edwards' man got blindsided, didn't know it was coming, and gets the skip pass for a swish. And you have good positioning for rebounding and getting back on defense, because you'll have, after he sets a screen, he can get back into safety, so Cat's in the rebound. He can go in for the rebound and get two guys in there, and you're good shape. This is beautiful stuff here. So let's go to the next clip. What do you say? And again, on the link in the description below, you can join our community over on Lucio. Download the app. You can start diagramming your own things, and we have a lot of really fun stuff like games, and we'll be able to keep a leaderboard, and we'll be able to bring you guys on to the show live. Depending on how well you do and how well I like what you're drawing. Let's do pistol. This is what I call that, pistol squared. Let's really quickly look at this and figure out why I called it this, because again, I try to make it descriptive. Pistol on one side, reverse, pistol on the other. I'm not making this too complicated. And again, this turns into a mismatch sort of for Anthony Edwards, and he has no problem getting in position to ISO and then do a step back three. Again, not successful, but it was worth showing because there's a lot of great action going on here. So let's look at this from the X's and O's standpoint, shall we? Okay. So it starts off with dribble handoff into a drag screen, which is just pistol action, right? Any kind of pin down into dribble handoff was what I consider pistol. It's what they used to call that way back in the day. I like to go, be a little old school. And so now we're turning the corner here, but I like this. You can, by the way, you're always, got to keep your eye on the guy after handing it off rolling. You can get that pass in there. And remember, if this guy's man decides to bump over and help, and you also have the pass to the corner. That's why pistol works so well. 3-man game. That's really the root of all kind of offense, is 3 men working together to design a, get an open shot. But if not, we get little pinch post action, which is basically what this is. And what he does is, let's clear this, is as Cat flies up here, and remember, all this action on this side is going to usually take the focus of the defense. Even Cat's man might be looking over there and be concerned, maybe even at this cutter here. He might, take a half step or even turn his head, and that lets Cat get open on the high post here. And so now we're going to run what I call it pinch post action, which is when you throw the ball at the high post and follow your pass to the outside and back around. Cat can hand it off here. He could give it right back, and now Patrick Beverley could get going downhill. And again, perhaps Anthony Edwards' man is going to help off, right? And Patrick Beverley can then kick for an open 3. Again, this is triangle offense designs gets you open 3s as much as you like. As long as you space to the corner, you're going to be open for the 3. And if you're not a 3-point shooter, you can be a little closer. But who's not a 3-point shooter these days? So let's see what happens here. Here's the pinch post action. And then he runs around. Again, he could give it back to him if he's open. He could fake it to him, which is my favorite play. Cat could fake it to Beverley and then roll right to the basket himself and get in there. Hopefully, if that's going to be happening, if he fakes it here and then goes to the basket and on the dribble, hopefully, this guy will bump up here. This guy will be bumping out of the way to clear that space up for him. And by the way, if not, this is what a triangle worked well is. A lot of times what you might see is if Cat is dribbling to the middle, this guy is going to help, and then boom, drop off pass, dunk, right to Vanderbilt. Okay, so and then we see this, and then we have another a pistol again action here. And again, obviously, what you're hoping for is that Anthony Edwards, who's got a really good left hand, is turning the corner here. These guys will space out at that point, and now he's got the whole middle open here. Cat could roll, Cat could pop. He could do a lot of things, and you get a nice little almost a 2-man game between Anthony Edwards and Cat. And all I can tell you is that if you're looking at your 2 best players to get involved as many actions as possible, that's a good thing. So some really good stuff that the Minnesota Timberwolves have in their base set, so they can run even more, I think. So that's their pistol. Should we go with one more? What do you say? Let's go. What else do we have here? We got a couple left over. Let's see if we can do it quick. So on this one, let's see here. And again, this is exactly how the NBA teams will use this app, and they'll be able to watch the play, and so will you. And I'll be uploading plays and have you diagram them, and then you can decide, do this basically, is show me some other options you can get out of this and maybe why it works. So here we go. It's another one where this is going to be a ball screen on top into the same idea here. And this is what I really like. This becomes a handoff into the corner for a Cat and Anthony Edwards. And then it's leveraging their immense gravity on this team to open up shots for other people. So let's look at why that works so well, because this is one of my favorites, I think. And you'll recognize it's similar to what we just saw. So elbow handoff. So first it starts off with a ball screen. They're using ball screens a lot to, as false action to kind of make it seem like that's the only thing they're running, but it's actually getting into something else. So we have D'Angelo Russell hit the high post here to Cat, who's filling in after that ball screen, and Patrick Beverley clears out of there. And then it's really simple. Edwards just curls right around, and Cat has a choice to hand it off, or he can keep it, he can post, he can do it. Because, by the way, if Anthony Edwards doesn't get it and he curls around here, these guys can all now space, and they can let Cat go to work on the whole side all by himself, which is, again, not a bad thing. But what happens here is on the handoff, this is key. You're always looking on that handoff, especially at the high post there. You want to get into the lane, turn into the corner, get going downhill. And, of course, what happens is Russell's man, feels like he's got to help one pass away, which is not the correct help. The help really should be like this. He should come over here, and this guy should come down. And now you're not giving up a wide open 3 right there, which is what they do, which is too easy. So let's go back a second here. Let's go back and see how that works. So again, they know this. They're trying to force the defense to have to react, and hopefully will help one pass away. Even though like my defenses that I trained never to help one pass away, it still helps sometimes to you're going to get it is the point. Like people are going to fall asleep. They're going to not be focused. You're going to get it, a lot of times. The more you do it, the more you're going to get it. And so again, there happens there. Russell moves with him. And then he gets a wide open shot and he nails the 3. Beautiful, beautiful play. Love this. This is probably my favorite one. So anyhow, I think that's good. I mean, that's a lot of plays there for you just to chew on. But again, click on the link below. Join the community over on Lucio because it's going to be really vibrant. We're going to have a whole thing with Discord. We'll have discussions there directly with you and me. We can talk directly that way and have really sort of interesting, deep conversations, which doesn't have to be like X's and O's coaches wonky stuff. It could very well be about your favorite players and how they're attacking and how we can get more stuff out of them. Just from even, if you're curious and why aren't they getting better stuff, and we can start to figure that out and we can release these things. Hey, this is a much better play they could run for, Anthony Edwards to get him open. And who knows, maybe somebody in the Timberwolves will see it and they'll make some the plays out of it. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for every video I do that's normal and hypey and epic or whatever. We'll do a deep dive companion piece the next day or even before that to lead into it. So stay tuned for that. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?